Hello guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Ayo and I'm based in Lagos, Nigeria. I hope you are all fine and doing great. On this channel, I upload DIYs, pattern drafting and sewing tutorials. If you haven't subscribed yet, kindly do so and remember to turn on the notification bell so that you get notified whenever I upload new videos. On today's tutorial, I'll be making a dress with a one-piece necktie detail. So without further ado, let's jump straight into the tutorial. Thank you. So for this dress design, I'll be working with the following tools: marker pen, ruler, French curve, tracing wheel, a two-darted basic bodice pattern, tape rule, pins, scissors, and pattern paper. So this is the two-darted basic bodice block that I will modify to make the pseudo tile detail on my dress. I have a tutorial on how to draft this. Its link will be in the description box below. For the back, I will close the shoulder dart like this. For the front pattern, I will lower my neckline by 2 centimeters. I will redraw my neckline using the French curve like this. I will trim off the old neckline. So the next thing I will do is to close my shoulder and my waist darts. Then I will draw a new line from the base of the neckline to the end of the shoulder dart. So I will draw the slanted line like this. So in short, what I'm basically doing is transferring my shoulder dart and my waist dart to the neckline of the dress. So I'm cutting open the slanted line and also the dart. So I will close the dart. So the two darts are now at the neckline of the bodice. So this is the new front pattern. What I need to do next is to measure the front and the back necklines. When measuring the necklines, the 1.5 centimeter seam allowance at the shoulder line and also the 3 centimeter zip allowance at the center back will not be included in the measurement. Also for the front, I will not include the darts that I transfer to the neckline in the measurement. I will now add the front and the back neckline measurements together, and this gave me 22 centimeters. I will note this value as this is what I will use to draft the collars and also the tie strap. I will now go ahead to draw the tie strap. The length of the tie strap is 22 centimeters we arrived at earlier. That is the length of the back and the front necklines we measured earlier. The width or the wideness of the tie strap is 5 centimeters. I will now measure 3 centimeters downwards. What I'm doing in essence is just to deepen the neckline where I transfer the waist and the shoulder darts by 3 centimeters. This cut will later be covered by the knot of the tie. I will now cut out my new front pattern. I will transfer the darts at the neckline to the new pattern like this. So this is the new front pattern. This pattern will be cut on bias. Because it will be cut on bias on my fabric, to avoid errors while cutting, I need my full front pattern. But first, I need to add about 1.5 centimeter seam allowance to the tie strap. So I will add the seam allowance like this, all around the tie strap, down to the cutout, to the area that was cut out at the neckline. So I will now cut out my full front pattern like so. So this is the full front pattern. It will be cut on bias on my fabric. And we now move over to the drafting of my collar. I have a tutorial on how to draft this collar on my channel. Its link will be in the description box below. I have drafted the collar up to this point off camera, but I want to point out a difference between this collar and that of a shirt collar. This dress does not have a button stand, but I need to create an illusion that it has one. So instead of measuring 1.5 centimeter button stand outside the collar. I will measure it inwards. I will now cut it out like this. Now I will quickly grab the knot of the tie. The knot is hexagonal in shape, that is, it has 6 sides. So for the dimensions of the hexagonal shape of the necktie, the dimension will be on the screen. The upper and the lower part of the shape are 6 centimeters long. The middle line is 8 centimeters, while the length of the shape is 8 centimeters, 4 centimeters or 4 centimeters down. What I'm doing now is just adding seam allowance. I will cut out the shape like this. So this is the knots of the tie. It will be folded in this manner when attaching to the neckline, when attaching it to the neckline. So these are the pattern pieces in there for the upper part of the dress. The focus of this tutorial is how to achieve this pseudo tail detail on our design. So I won't be focusing much on the lower part of the dress. So this is the knot of the tie. I cut out one piece. This is the collar stand. I cut 4 pieces. It was not cut on fold. Each piece was cut singly. I have already interfaced 2 pieces out of the 4 pieces. The remaining 2 pieces will not be interfaced. This is the collar fold. I also cut 4 pieces singly. I also interfaced 2 pieces out of the 4 collar pieces. This is the back pattern. I cut 2 pieces singly. This is the front pattern. I cut 1 piece of it on bias. So what I'm doing now is transferring the neck dart on the front pattern to my fabric. So now I will move over to the sewing stage. First, I will notch or cut into the corners of the tie straps at this point. Make sure that the notch on both sides of the strap are on a straight line, fall on a straight line. Notching the straps will make it easier to stitch them together. The notching should be done at about 1.5 centimeters, should be about 1.5 centimeters. Note that the right side of the fabric is what we are seeing, is what is facing up. I will fold the tie strap to the right side like this, to the front like this. Do not fold the strap to the back or to the wrong side. I will now take it to my sewing machine and stitch it in place. So I've done that now. This area I will overlock it and I will fold the same allowance to the wrong side and stitch close to the edge. So now I've done that. The next thing to do is to attach the lower part of my dress to the upper part of the dress. So now that has been done. This is the back. I will go ahead and stitch the darts in place for the two back pieces. I will also attach the lower part of the dress to the bodice. I will do this for both pieces, so I've done that. So I will now go ahead and attach my invisible zip to the back of the dress. But first, I need to stitch them from here to here before attaching the zip. So I've attached the zip. Next, I need to close the shoulders. I will stitch using 1.5 centimeters seam allowance for both shoulder lines. Also, I will close the side seams using 2.5 centimeters or 1 inch seam allowance. So now I've done that. I've stitched the side seams and the shoulder lines together. So now I will use basting stitches to temporarily hold my neck darts in place. I will use my needle and thread for that. I will now move over to the collar. I will pick one piece of the interface collar fold and another piece that I did not interface. I will stick the two pieces together and I will leave the lower part opened. I will do the same for the other collar too. Now I've done that, what I will do next is to sandwich the collar fold in between the two collar strands. I will now stitch together in this direction. So now I've done that. I have two collar pieces. I will now place the collar on the neckline of my dress like this. I will hold it in place with my pins. So I take it to my sewing machine and stitch it in place. I do the same for the other side too. So I will stitch in place at this side. So now I've done that. The next thing to do is close the collar at the lower part. I will fold like this, take it to my sewing machine and stitch in place. So now that has been done, I also attach hook and eye at the back. For the tie straps, I will close the open ends using my needle and thread. I will fold the open end inwards like so. Then I will close using hand stitching method. I will do this for both tie straps. So now that has been done, I will now flip over the strap like so, and I will secure it to the collar stand using my needle and thread. It will be covered with the collar fold when worn. I will do the same for the other side too. So this is the knot of the tie. I will stitch it like this, but I will leave some opening so that I can turn it to the right side after sewing. I will now turn it to the right side like this, and I will close the opening with my needle and thread. So now I will attach the knots to the tie straps. I attach to the tie straps like this. These are the straps. This is where the knots will be attached. So I will insert the knots of the tie like this. I will close the open end of the tie strap on the other side. I will close it using hand stitching method. I will use my needle and thread for this. You can take yours to the sewing machine to close it, but I'm using needle and thread for mine. So what I'm doing now is arranging the knots into the proper, or should I say usual shape of the conventional tie knots. I'm trying to arrange it properly so that you bring out the shape of the knots of a tie. So now we remove the basting thread. After doing this, I will now insert this open portion into the knot of the tie. I will insert it like this. I will try to use my overlocker thread picker to make this process easier. Once I'm done inserting this open part into the knot, I will secure it in place with my needle and thread. After doing this, it will be secured in place with the needle and thread. So now that has been done, this is the final look of the pseudo tie detail. I will now go ahead and finish my dress off camera. So that's it guys, we are done. Do not forget to like, share, comment and subscribe to my YouTube channel. See you in my next video. Bye and thank you for watching.